This podcast was produced by B. Haywood for Confirmed Podcast Network.
This is the Big and Lazy Podcast. Give us something good to eat. Give us something good to watch. So the Dirt Bowl's coming up, man. And Eastside has won it 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. And since Snot took over, they didn't won it maybe like 5 of 7 or something crazy. So what's the chance of you getting out there, but maybe play a coach, 5-minute run or something?
Man, I leave it up to them, man. I'm a spectator.
Uh-huh.
I did my due diligence. I played the game for as long as I could.
Yeah.
And I got everything out of it. I didn't have any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
I just, kind of did what I needed to do in that world. And now it's time to move on to the next venture. But like I said, I do go check it out. I see Snotty. He's doing his thing. He's a coach.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's kind of different because I've known him since he was a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, he wasn't a hooper,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But he's around the game and he's been around some
Phil
of the
Jackson.
best. He's been around some of the best. So I feel him. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. I mean, I don't knock nobody that that's doing their thing. And I love it that the East End is doing their thing and they represent. You know what I'm saying? I'm always for the East. You know what I'm saying? That's my hood. So
So did you ever play at Rupp?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We played. I went there in '97. We won it state in '97. I was a sophomore at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went back '98 and we lost. I think in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the second round. I can't remember. But yeah, we went back 2 years, and then after that, my senior year, we didn't make it. Yeah. Ballard won it my senior year.
They had Brandon Bender that year, wasn't it?
'99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brandon was Brandon. They had a whip, man. They had like their lineup was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody they had at least 3 or 4 6'5" and up. You know what I'm saying? Louisville, we small, so it's not like that's huge.
It is in high school, yeah.
Compared to what we had, But we did our thing. We beat them. We actually beat them that year.
Really?
We beat them.
Okay.
Because that was our rival.
Yeah.
Ballard and Easton was a big rival. It was standing room
only. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those days. You know what I'm saying? And my last year, and I tell people all the time, I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but I felt like I was the end of the Eastern rival because it seemed like it went downhill. And of course, Rondo when he came, but he came like years after me.
But did you ever play with Rondo?
Nah, he's a lot younger than me.
Got you.
He's Rondo's probably what 40, 39.
Cause I know he was class of 04, so he might have been a freshman your next year, the next following year, because he was high school class of 04.
04?
Mm-hmm. He might have been
okay, yeah. Because I came out in '99, so he's roughly 4 or 5 years younger than me. So yeah, he's probably about 39, 40, somewhere. He's probably pushing 40, if not already 40.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, who's your top 5 teammate? Top 5 people you played against or you played with? You can mix them in the 5.
Top 5 players that I played with or against?
Yeah, either one. You can mix them up.
I never thought about it. Top 5 players. I can start with some of the local people. I played against like
it could be streets.
Lonzo Evans.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the top players back in the day. I messed with Leroy and I played with like a lot of people, so it's kind of hard to really say who specifically, but like Derek Anderson and it depends on what you mean by playing with or against, because I played against and with a lot of athletes.
It don't matter.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be a pickup game with the park.
Garcia, Taekwon Dean, the Felton Spencers.
R.P. Felton.
Shit. I mean, it's a lot of people. Melo. I played against him when I was actually in Denver. I was in rookie camp with Melo when he first came in 03. Yeah. I made it was a tryout that I went out to in Denver in '03.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, it was so many people that came to this tryout. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of the top 4. It was either 4 or 3. It might have been 3. Top 4 or 3 players got to go in and pretty much, practice with, you went to free agent camp, rookie
Right.
free agent camp.
Mm-hmm.
So they flew me back out. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I made the top 3. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Out of all the players, and they flew me back out, and I worked out with the it was 15 agents at the rookie free agents at this camp at the time, and I worked out, and actually they got to the point where they took 3 players from the 15
Mm-hmm.
to work out with the actual team
Oh, okay.
with Melo. This is
Yeah.
the time Melo. It was Melo at the time. Birdman,
Uh-huh.
remember Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman.
He was in Denver. That was probably some of the bigger names that at the time they didn't really have a lot.
Uh-huh.
So I made it to that workout with Melo now. So
Uh-huh.
now I'm with with the team. You know what I'm saying? I made it all the way to that, part of the workouts. And then, time went by, and then um, summer league was about to start. So they had to start picking who they wanted to bring in. And I talked to the coaches after everything was over, and some of the coaches, and they were telling me they was like, they kind of had their mind up what they really wanted to go with in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, they wanted to build around Melo. They wanted to bring in some seniority, some people that had
Right.
experience. So they wasn't trying to bring in rookie.
Yeah,
They
right.
wasn't really trying to do it. And at that time, you know what I'm saying, it was a big thing for me to just even make it to the NBA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But that's my mentality, and that's the way I kind of operate. I'm a
Find
person that
gratitude type of person.
I'm just a type of person that not just that. It's more just like I'm trying to reach, different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever I do,
Right.
I'm trying to get to that highest level in what I do, and I reach that. You know what I'm saying? And I try to do that with everything else that I do. So I mean, that's why people know
Right.
Mone T tattoo. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I don't do it because I want the accolades and all that come with it. I mean, that's cool, but it's not that like I'm not a person that want a lot of attention. You
Right.
know. So with that incident that happened, we'll get to.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it kind of
Right.
summarizes what I don't want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
So you said you played in Mexico, professionally for 4 years. How was that?
yeah, I mean it was dope. It was different. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It was a dope experience. And I traveled. I did a lot of traveling and stuff, so I got a chance to see a lot. You know what I'm saying, outside of Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what gives my mind and how I operate. That's how a lot of it came about. Just experiencing different things, different cultures, different world, different lifestyle.
Real dope.
And going there, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to a point where it wasn't. I, it's a different world.
Yeah.
You
Get
know what I'm
homesick on
saying?
per se.
Like I loved it for a minute, and then it just started getting at. That's why I know like how celebrities feel.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to the celebrity lifestyle, because it can get overwhelming, man. You got people in your face every day.
Mm-hmm.
These Mexican people, they think they think we rich. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because we making a little bit of money, and it's a lot to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we was making good, decent money, but to them it's shit.
Right. We was
You
Bill
was rich.
Gates.
They wanted
Yeah.
like I would see them every day, and I would come out and they want my headband, my shoes,
Damn. Uh-huh.
yeah, and they want money, like different stuff, and they just at first it was exciting. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You getting all this attention, and it's like, oh damn, it's different. But then after a while, it kind of was like you get tired of it.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
You about to spaz out.
And that's why I said I understand celebrities, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand people that have a lot of attention, man. That shit, like people be thinking people supposed to have a smile on their face every day. Shit, they human. You know what I'm saying? You got people in your face every day, all
Right.
day. And I got a little taste of it. I ain't even get that. What they
Mm-hmm.
get, shit, I just
This
know
is
what
pre-internet. Yeah, you know.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
So, but other than that, it was a great experience. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was just another part of my journey with that basketball career.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. We're gonna take a quick break to go over to bigandlazy.com. That's our website. You see it right there. We got a subscriptions email blast service. Sign up. You know it's free. You stay up to date with everything we got going. We got a subscription service, $5 a month. It's our Patreon. Buy me a coffee. $5 a month. You get instant access to everything. No wait. You ain't got to DM me. Man, when is this dropping? It'll drop. As soon as we record it. We also got a merch. Whatever you want. Hats, coffee mugs, t-shirts. You can get them any color. They got men's and women's. You buy it. It ships to you. Less than a week. Turnaround time. Amazing. We appreciate all the support. And you see on their website, you see all our links and stuff. We own everything. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, drop every week. We love the support. Thank you from the Big and Lazy. So let's get into a tattooing. So how long you been doing it?
I've been tattooing. Was it 17? Might be 18 years. I was tattooing since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So
17. Going on.
Seven,
Mm-hmm.
17 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how long I've been tattooing. I got into it, right after, like, my last 3 years of playing professional sports was in, like, the last year was '08.
Mm-hmm.
So after I got done with that, I actually was still playing. It was my last year. I was just trying to figure out my exit route on what I wanted to do after basketball. So with me getting tattoos and stuff, I come back home. I shout out to Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the ones that kind of introduced me to a lot of the tattoo lifestyle world or
You
whatever.
still tattooing?
Yeah, I think he's still tatting. Calvin's probably just he dibble and dabble. So I guess he's tatting. I think he's still tatting, but he's into other stuff. You know what I'm saying too. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I was coming home and would get tatted by him. You know, shit, I was probably at his shop almost every day. You know what I'm saying? Because I just like the vibe. I like the whole atmosphere, and I would get tats. And then something just came over me. I'm like, damn, I can draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then and to be honest, he was, speak on what he made and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker making money like that doing tattoos. So, that would kind of get in my head, and I was like, shit. I'm like, what? I mean, I can probably do his shit. So, I got to talking to him, and he was just like asking me. No, I said something to him. I was like, one day I was just in there while he was tatting. I was like, man, I can draw. I can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, you can't draw. You know what I'm saying? And then one thing led to another, and then I got the drawing, and he seen the work. He was like, damn, you can draw. I was like, I told you. And then from there on out, I was going home and just start drawing, at the crib. Like, and that's weird because, that's like, going home and drawing on paper, you know what I'm saying, at the crib. That's I ain't even like doing homework.
Right.
So I knew when I started taking it home and I was practicing this shit, it was something that I really liked. So I just wanted to kind of polish up my skill drawing and seeing where I could go with this. And next thing you know, I was at his shop. They was showing me different stuff, and I kind of was at his shop for some months. You know what I'm saying, learning and trying to figure out different stuff. And then after that, I took it to my apartment. First, I tried to get in his shop, and at the time, my mentality was more like, you know how it is when you start something, you think you good, you think you. When I even say think I was good, it was just more like you want opportunities that you ain't work for.
Right.
And at that time, I felt it like, damn, he don't let me. I wasn't mad, but it was just like, man, he don't want to let me work in his shop. But he didn't. He never told me no. He just was like, man, you gotta learn. You gotta start out somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I can come in. He's like, nah, if such and such don't come in, then you can come in. And when he was saying, I was like, man, yeah,
like give you the runaround almost.
It wasn't even the runaround. I think it was more just him just kind of putting me off a little bit. Because I would have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm doing it and I understand it, you know what I'm saying, was the same thing. But he never told me, I ain't you ain't I ain't ready to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, once he, kind of pushed it off a little bit, I kind of was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on my own. I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out this game. I got a little info, so now I'm just gonna, take it to the house. I ordered my equipment, some equipment or whatever, and I started on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I went to the crib, and I tell people all the time that be coming to me wanting to know how to tat and stuff. If you really want to learn it, you're gonna learn it. You can learn anything.
Right.
Like social media, like
Especially
internet,
with
YouTube. Yeah, all that stuff out there, man. It's so much stuff to learn stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was a little different because I ain't saying YouTube wasn't there, but it wasn't something that I was familiar with like that. I didn't really get on there like that, but yeah. After that, I started doing it at the crib. And then I started on my cousin. Shout out to Wasey, my cousin. He black ass.
Mm-hmm.
He black as hell. But that's who I started on.
Yeah.
So it was tough starting out, but I wanted to learn so bad. So
Right. So do you remember your first tattoo? Your first tattoo you ever done?
first tattoo I think was on me.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's this one right here. The fucking tattoo right here.
Okay.
It's a hoop head.
Uh-huh.
I got it out of it was a newspaper in the city of Salem, Oregon, when I was out there playing IBL. IBL is a league called IBL. It
Uh-huh.
was a semi-pro league out there in Salem, Oregon, and they had a newspaper that had that logo on there, and I just did it and put the word hoop head on there.
That's what's up, man.
That was my first tattoo, but
Uh-huh.
after that, I did some work on my cousin and just start going from there.
So, like, what moment did you realize, like, I got something here? Like, was it like, somebody referred to you? Where, like, what moment was like, damn, I'm really am like, I can do, I can make a career out of this. I can, this is my calling per se.
I don't know. I think it's just me getting into it. I just felt like I don't know. Sometimes in your mind, your mind can trick you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of like you feeling like you good. Like I feel like I'm good at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't as good. Knowing now later on in life, looking back at old work, you be like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You look at it, but it's levels to it. It's levels to everything. But if you don't have the confidence to do something, you never gonna know, where you stand and how good you really are. But I knew that I had a talent in drawing, so I knew I was gonna get better. But at the time I thought I was good, so shit, it was like instant. I thought that I was, and I used to have people that knew me from basketball, and they were like, "Nigga, you ain't great tat me." You know what I'm saying? They was like, "You crazy as hell." Like, and I thought I was good at it, but I wasn't as good as I thought I was. But I was getting a lot of business.
Right.
That what made me feel like I was good because I was getting a lot of business.
Uh-huh.
I was getting like I was tattooing in my apartment at the time.
Yeah.
I tattooed in my apartment for like a year.
Uh-huh.
I only tattooed 1 year in my apartment, and I went and got a shop.
Okay.
That's crazy. I never worked in nobody's shop.
Really?
Never.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you've been on? Is your shop the one on Broadway? You been there the whole 30?
I've been there for 15 or 16 years.
Okay.
And I had a shop in Old Louisville for like a year, 6 months or some shit. They kind of it was a zoning issue over there.
Uh-huh.
Where it wasn't under the like a zoning issue for different businesses. They have lists of different businesses that are allowed in these places.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you don't get a complaint, you probably won't get cited.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
so I was going for a while. Then those people over there they didn't want you over there. They see all these coming in, and it's like, what's going on? So they flag my sign. Crazy shit ever.
Yeah.
Sign's too big.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what? What kind of shit is that? So they were saying my sign was too big. That's what kind of got them on the radar to what was going on in that at that spot. So it was kind of a blessing for real because it got me early than later. But I spent so much money getting that place together. I spent probably like 15 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had to redo the whole shop. You know what I'm saying? And I got it all together, and it was like I got this information. So once the sign got, it kind of flagged them, and then they was like, "Oh, it ain't even supposed to be no tattoo shop in this area." Because that zoning area at the time, they was real strict on it. But I think now it's open because actually Zoe's over there. You know.
Yeah.
So but when it happened, you know, I just dealt with it. I had a lawyer on it. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of pushing it off, trying to keep the people off it because they were trying to find me every day I operated.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had a lawyer get on it, and I was just pretty much using him to kind of give me some time to get my shit together.
Yeah.
Figure out where I needed to go. So I had a person that I was dealing with that was helping me with different business stuff. And he found another location and he told me to go check it out. I went and checked it out, and that's the spot that I'm at now. And at first, the initial, thought of it was I didn't want it. It was too big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's too big. I ain't want. But then I checked out some other spots that she had upstairs and was showing me, and that was too small.
Right.
So then I was like, hold on, let me go back down here and check it out. So I went and checked it out and looked at the area and looked at the space, and it was pretty. I start putting stuff together, and I'm glad I did it because now it makes sense.
Right.
Because I can expand. Because when you try to get something out starting out, you might start out small and then you start growing and you need the space.
Right.
And now the space is too small. You feel me? So it started out me thinking it was gonna be too big, and now it's like I feel like I can go bigger if I really because I got a barbershop in there now.
Oh yeah. Because and the theory is that you put a goldfish in a small tank, it ain't gonna grow. But if you put a goldfish in a big, bigger tank, that goldfish is going, it grows big as his environment. But that's pretty dope right there.
You don't think like that when you
right.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't know, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it goes when you learn it.
So what would you say is the best tattoo you ever done? Like that you take, it might not be the most, big, whatever you wanna.
I always tell people I ain't done my best tattoo.
Really?
Because I'm always looking to try and be better. But my best, I guess for right now, I can say the best one that I did so far recently. I'll probably have to look at the pictures.
I show my every time somebody say they going to they looking for a tattoo artist. This is before I even met you. I plug you because so many people. You did my sister's sleeve, and get so many compliments on it.
Right.
And I show them like this is a work. Oh my God, what's the context? So
right.
It was a pretty dope tattoo.
Yeah, I really can't say, man. It's probably one of my recent ones. I can't really say because I don't dwell on one tat. I always try to elevate.
Right.
So it's like one tat, like, yeah, it'd be something I like for the moment, like, you know what I'm saying, for about a month. And then I'm trying to do the next best one. You know what I'm saying? And, you learn from, different ones that you do and just keep trying to better your craft. But it ain't no specific one that I feel like is my best. But it's a lot of real good ones that I done. A lot of them.
So I'm gonna ask you this: like, what's the most famous person you ever tattooed? Like,
I haven't tatted I haven't tatted nobody super famous yet. This is Louisville, man.
Right.
Like we don't produce a lot of celebrities. I mean, I do have like some of the basketball players that played at Louisville, like what's his name? That played for Louisville.
T. Will Clark, Sosa.
Nah, he played at New Orleans, and then he was with the Celtics. What's his name? Guard Terry Rozier.
Yeah,
I tatted him. He's probably one of the bigger ones that I tatted in the league. I got a few NFL players that I've tatted. Yeah. What's his name? The one that played with Rozier now. The rebounder, Earl.
Montez,
I tatted him. The most famous people probably is just those athletes.
Yeah.
Just some athletes that's played in the NFL and played in. I haven't got an actual celebrity yet, but working on it.
Did you hear about a tattoo artist was suing Madden because they had his tattoos in the game. He was suing them for. I ain't heard if he wanted it or not, but a
I
tattoo
think I
artist.
heard of that.
Yeah, Kaepernick's tattoo artist.
I think
is
I
suing
heard of
him.
that.
I don't know. I think he got a case, man. Get the man. You know what I mean? It's just,
You think so? They in those games they do have them whole but damn, you think you can get money for that?
if you got the image copy, if you got the image.
You got to copyright it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother ball game.
It is.
Like, I haven't heard nobody winning a lawsuit for having a tattoo on a game or something like that.
Intellectual property. I don't know. I just heard I didn't read too much on it.
Yeah.
But recently you went through a event where somebody tried to discredit you on the internet. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I really don't, but I need to. You know what I'm saying? This is a situation where it's not personal, and you have to eliminate the personal side of it. You know how you feel, whatever. But it's not personal. It's just a business thing, and what I want to explain about it. But the situation that happened with the tattoo that they got infected. It's certain things that can happen with a tattoo and an infection. First of all, the infection didn't have anything to do with dirty needles, dirty products, whatever it is that somebody might think that it could be. It's not that. You can either get a bacteria infection that can be caused by just somebody being in an environment that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's always something that could possibly happen to any tattoo. You know what I'm saying? It's always a precaution. That's with any medical anything.
Right.
But what happened with hers, it was more like a trauma infection, if it makes sense. Like when you have a trauma infection, it's caused by, okay, you do a tattoo. You might have a tattoo where you might go over the skin maybe 1 or 2 times more than what you need to. And it could cause the skin to be, irritated and cause an infection.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened in her tattoo. You know what I'm saying? It was a trauma infection, and it caused the tat to, have an infection in it.
Right.
It started out as a small,
Right.
she called me and told me like, hey, I might have to, I think she went to the hospital or a doctor, whatever she went to, and basically what they will do is give you an antibiotic,
right,
in which it clears it over a few days. It's nothing uncommon that could possibly happen to a tattoo. This is the things that people don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it can happen. You know what I'm saying? But that happened. So she went to the doctor and they give her medication.
Mm-hmm.
The medication was the wrong medication.
Doctor gave you the wrong medication. Damn.
Now you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, and first and foremost, I don't want to come on here and bash nobody. Mm-hmm. I don't want to make her look bad. I'm not trying to make me look bad. It's just facts. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So this happened, and she goes home and have, a day, 2. I don't know. I can't even remember how long it was where this infection was setting in her skin. Mm-hmm. Spread it throughout the tattoo. Right. So now it looks crazy. Mm-hmm. One, I didn't even know she had to go back to the. I'm thinking,
it's over.
Yeah. Man, she sent that picture, and the picture that everybody got, I got 6 months ago. Okay. Feel me? So I done seen this shit long time ago. When it happened. So it was crazy to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's something I'm looking at like, what the fuck? I ain't never seen no shit like that. I've never even been, but
like the first of me too.
Yeah, and that's bad, what makes it look so bad. But if you see the tattoo healed.
Yeah, I see it here. Like that's the first thing.
I mean, you might need to show that on her. I'll give you the photo if you can put it on her. But it's healed, and
send it to his number.
Yeah, I'll send it to him. But it's healed, and it have a little bit of it wouldn't be my favorite tattoo that I see. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It has some stuff that could be touched up, and it'll look A lot better.
Yeah.
But what people don't see is that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't like a leg fell off. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It was like it wasn't dirty. It wasn't this or that. And the situation with her, what happened was, and I feel like this is why she put it out there.
Mhm.
First of all, I took care of her. Even before I even see the picture, I don't even know if I seen the picture. I'm not for sure. But I don't even know if I seen the picture. Anybody that I do business with, if they have an issue with anything,
Mhm.
and that's business.
Right.
I don't think it's no business in the world ever that something happened
Right.
or anything. Like, I'm a business just like McDonald's, just like Wendy's, or you got a business going. Like, everybody has shit. Like, nothing goes smooth every single time. And I take full blame on what it was that I had to cause this, for her to even go through the situation. It wasn't nothing that I...
Because you refunded it and gave us some extra money.
Man, I gave her money. And the thing was I wasn't even going into it to like, I'm gonna give her X amount of dollars. I was just giving. She knows it. That's why she posted it. I didn't, mind you, I never read a message. I didn't read none of the texts people talking. Like, I try to keep my mind positive.
Right.
So I don't really go into that negative world, because that spins off into you. And then you negative, and you got negative vibes, and you got... I just didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, where was I at?
You were saying about you never seen the message. You was when she first reached out to you. It was about first.
Yeah, she sent it to me, and then I seen it, and I was like, damn. But I was giving them, I was giving her money. I was giving her money, like, and the money was just... She never asked for a dime. She never asked me for nothing, And like I said, I'm not on her to try and bash her, because at the end of the day, she did have to go through something, and I definitely understand it. That's why how many people is gonna give you money? Nobody want to give you money.
And extra money.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not in it, and it ain't about the money for me. It ain't even about me giving her the money. It's about the fact that I want to make things right for you. You know what I'm saying?
Happy customer.
Exactly. Even if you never come back to me, I get it. I understand it. I just want to make sure you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And make sure, but I know what you had to go through, and that wasn't 100% on me. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like you have a doctor that made a mistake.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? This is what people don't understand. There's mistakes, and there's things that happen when you're in business. Like I was saying earlier, like, you done been to McDonald's, your order been wrong, but then you went back. You know what I'm saying? More for the most part.
Run to the internet.
For the most part, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just life. So when this situation happened, it's like, oh my God, this and that. Man, I've been tattooing 17, 18 years.
Yeah.
You go like one incident, and not even saying there's one incident, because I'm not perfect.
Right.
So with that said, she went into a situation where I guess she was asking me, and I don't want to really go too deep into it, but she was wanting to know if she didn't have insurance. So I guess she didn't, she couldn't pay the bill or whatever, and that was fine. But this happened around Christmas.
Right.
I'm keeping up with... This is before she even said anything about bills, and I even really knew. But I was just giving her money, just making sure she's straight. But
let me ask you this: 'cause what made her? You said the situation happened 5 minutes ago. Like, what made her? What made her flare it up and run to the internet 5 minutes later?
I got you. That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So she was like, she said, she asked me in the message. She was just like, 'cause she inboxed, and she was like, no, I reached out to her. This is before she even said anything about, money or whatever. I reached out to her before, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to just keep giving her money at the moment, because it was Christmas time.
Right.
That's why I was saying I was getting into it. Like, it was Christmas time, so it was like that time of the year, and I was like, I'm going to have to take care of some stuff. But I reached out to her and was like, I'm letting her know this, so she wouldn't think that I'm just leaving her. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping in contact with you. I'm letting you know everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the type of person I'm I'm not calling you, making sure you straight. None of that. I'm keeping contact. So I gave her the information and let her know that, that this was going on. And then she texted back and was like, what she say? She was like, so are you not going to give me the money or something? And I was like, no, I got you. I just got to, I got to take care of this, and that third. That was the last time I heard from her.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this is around Christmas time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was the last time I heard from her. And then all of a sudden, months went by.
Yeah.
Months went by. It maybe been a couple months go by. I wind up getting a letter from the lawyer.
Yeah.
She's suing me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See?
Uh-huh.
It gets deeper.
Right.
So she's suing me. So after I get the letters, I'm like, I got to reach out to lawyers and shit.
Yeah.
So I reach out. So now they telling me, don't communicate with her.
Right.
Have no contact. And I'm sure her lawyers told her the same thing. Yeah. So now it's like no communication. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fuck, I need to communicate. You suing me now. So what the fuck? So went through the process. Shit happens. And something happened to where I didn't hear back from the lawyer. Yeah. They asking me because because I have to check my insurance shit with my shop. Mm-hmm. All my shit is auto pay. Right. So my shit lapsed around the time. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that was the whole point. They didn't want to deal with the insurance situation. Right. You don't have to have insurance to open up a shop. Right. That's on you. That covers you. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So that's nothing that fucks up anything to do with what you got going on. Right. So that happened. And I guess, unfortunately for her, it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. With her getting anything from me. Right. Which it wasn't that much money. I'm not going to disclose them, right. But it wasn't that much money. I could have worked with you. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a problem with it. Is the
case still open or is it shut?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm assuming. I haven't heard anything. That was months ago. But I guess she got to the point where she was just like, once that didn't work out, she inboxed me again. That's when I figured something ain't right. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't supposed to be reaching out to me. Right. And I'm not going to respond. Right. Because I'm like, you done already did what you had to do. So now there's no more communications. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And that's how it worked. And I was like, what do you want me to do now? And then all of a sudden, that's when the video comes out. I mean, the
pictures. Oh, wow.
So that's how it worked. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? I think she spoke on everything that was, most of it was what she said was what it was. Mm-hmm. But she left out a few things. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is the whole point of me trying to get on her to, to let people know that that's something that happened. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I said, and here's the big part of why things happen. Mm-hmm. I want to get that off too. And that's enough with that. That's over. But how things can happen like this, I've been tattooing 17 years, right? Mm-hmm. Things like this started happening. A few years ago, I switched out everything with my tattoo stuff. You have to change things in order to elevate. Right. So what I did was I changed out a lot of stuff. I took I new guns, new inks, new this, upgrade everything. Mm-hmm. So now you think about it. If I'm tattooing 12, 15 years, and I just all of a sudden change everything out. Mm-hmm. Now it's a new learning curve. Right. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
So now I'm learning different things, and I'm going through things that I'm not accustomed to. So I have to adjust to skins, to complexions, this, that, and the other. So when you do that, mm-hmm. you might have an issue.
Yeah, learning
here and there. It's not like it's like I want to tell people. It's not no, infection where it's like, oh, he's dirty, this and that. Right. That's why I want to put out there. Like I said, this is more of a business thing than it is personal, because I wouldn't even respond. Right. If it was personal. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. I don't want to even give you light.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Yeah.
You feel me? But it's my business. I've been working my life, to do what I do every day. And I do the things I do with trying to get better for the client. I'm not doing it for me.
Right.
Like I could easily just make money off of what I've been doing for whatever, because, I got a little name, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I want to be better. Yeah. I want to be better for you. You know, anybody that come to me. So it was a learning curve, learning different things, and you understand certain, things that textures and a lot of things, and you might have with anything you do. It's like you with this podcast.
Like I was about to say, we 100+ episodes, we might have had in my eyes 5 or 6, maybe 7 bad episodes, but that's still 93%. That's still an 8+.
You see the percentage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not like you can't come to me and tell me, Mone, like I get, you know how many messages and emails, like people coming to me about it, and I'm like, that's crazy. I've been in this game 17, 18 years with good quality. And you're going to have people jumping on the bandwagon and say they this, that, and the third. If I've done over 10,000 tattoos, say 10,000, because I know I have. Mm-hmm. If I have 100 people that had a problem, or not just that type of problem, just not satisfied. Right. You can't satisfy everybody. Okay. But if I said 100 people, maybe 200 people out of 10,000, what's the percentage of that? I don't even know. That's 98. You know what I mean? 8+. Still, you know what I mean? You pass in there. And when that first happened, because of my little sister, like I mentioned earlier, got tattoos. I didn't even know my little cousin Michi's in the group text. But you know how the family group, he don't never comment. I sent that, and I didn't know he was in the damn group text. Oh man, they got him fucked up, man. He does A1, and like my sister chimed in, like, but it's always gonna be especially with something negative, it's gonna be shares and many likes, and you know what I mean. But I appreciate, and that's what I want to say too. I want to appreciate all the people that stood up, for me. You know what I'm saying? That was, that's good quality, customers and people that I really, because everybody knows I'm a good person. Mm-hmm. As first and foremost, I treat everybody the right way. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I fucked up or if I had a mistake, I'm going to try to make it right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been a person to be like, man, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Get you, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it came out, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with 1,000 people on it. And of course it's going to go viral. It's going to go viral because I ain't going to lie, that was a fucked up situation. And I do, and it's still, and to like the visual of it, like exactly. And to this day, I still feel bad for it. But at the same time, I can't even associate with you. I can't even after you do what you did, and then really seeing what it looks like now. You wait 6 months to really blast it and whatever. It is what it is. As life, and that's a part of business, and that's why I had to get on here. And represent the business because I'm the only person that's going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is going to be able to. Right, you built it up. But what did Frank say? Brick by brick. Brick by brick. And I'd be damn if you know what I mean? Yeah. So just one person turned me down. And like I said before, I know I ain't done, I can't satisfy just imagine you trying to satisfy every person that comes. I tap so many people, and I'm still tapping people because people still gonna fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that, she couldn't possibly put a little, damper in it. But this is the whole point, is to give people the vision of where, what I've been through and what it is that I'm doing to get better as an artist. Now, but you won't ever see that again. Right. I'm gonna tell you that. You might not, be the, own every tattoo and love everything that I do. But at the same time, I can deal with that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But other than that, you'll never see that again. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it wasn't my 100% my fault. You know what I'm saying? I take blame. I take everything that has to do with anything that I put out there. Even if it wasn't something that I did, that's the type of person I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker go out and get a bacterial infection because, maybe they tattoo wrap came up and it's got some bacteria in it, and it just, because that happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When people, that's why I tell people when they bandages come off, just take it off, clean it up, and then I put another one on. You feel me? Because shit can get trapped in it. It's always something that could possibly happen. Right. I'm like a fucking doctor pretty much. Right. Not necessarily, but you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with fucking blood and skin and shit. So it's like, it's a possibility something can happen. Right. But like I said, my success rate outweighs that 1000%, man. Like I said, the work that I've done, you wouldn't know who the fuck I am.
Right. Right. And another thing, like anytime somebody try to come to the internet, it's just they're not seeking justice. They just try. It's a smear campaign. It's always in the bottom of my heart. Like I take that shit with a grain of salt because a lot of stuff on the internet is cap. And like you might see that picture, you might see this and that, but they don't tell you the backstory. They don't because it's like a highlight. You know what I mean? You only seeing what they want you to see. So
exactly.
And when people a lot of bashing people on the internet and shit, I don't know.
But that's the internet world.
Mhm.
It's anything look at Diddy. Like this shit is like soap opera. You know what I'm saying? Anything negative about you and you got some kind of success, it's gonna magnify even more.
Mhm.
You know how many people hate LeBron?
Right.
Like, why you hate somebody that play basketball?
Right. and you never gonna be
that's crazy.
And you never gonna be criticized by somebody that's doing more than you. I learned that. So you're never somebody's up early criticizing you. And like you said, LeBron, that you notice the people, the players and the coaches and the referees ain't bull. The people that's booing them in the stands, they paid good money and maybe saved up for 2-3 weeks, took off from work.
And y'all paying to watch them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Might even have his damn jersey on, his shoes or something.
It's crazy to me. I've never been a hater. So it's something I can't understand.
Uh-huh.
But, it comes with life. It comes with this social media. It comes with whatever you present yourself as. You ever see me put anything negative out? No. That's all I do is put my work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
And people couldn't wait for that.
Right.
They couldn't wait for something bad. It took 17 years.
Yeah.
But it happened. You know what I'm saying? And I got to eat it. But at the same time, like I said, man, with me speaking on it, I want to give people, because I really don't give a damn, to be honest. But the business side of it, I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is something that I feel like people need to hear from me. And I know with me being silent, not saying much, it's like, bro, what's going on? What are you doing? Like, no, I want people to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you're trying to build, okay, let me ask you this. If you play sport, you play basketball, and you shot poor from the free throw line. You shot under 50%.
Uh-huh.
How do you think you're gonna get better? You tell me how you feel like you're gonna get better.
Shoot more free throws. Get a free throw, a shooting machine, repetition, more practice.
That's wrong.
How's that? What's wrong?
You know why it's wrong?
Why's that?
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
But it's more to it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you go to the free throw line. You can go in the gym and shoot 1,000 shots a day, 5,000, 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep shooting that same shot, you're gonna build that percentage the same way you got it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same. You might go up maybe 2 or 3%.
Yeah, trick your mechanics, huh?
The mechanics.
Uh-huh.
It's the mechanics.
Uh-huh.
Like now you gotta figure out, okay, when you get to the gym, you gotta straighten that arm out.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something wrong with your shot. Look at Shaq.
Right.
You see his shot? That shit is crazy. You know why he shot like that? Because his fucking form, everything was off.
Uh-huh.
And he couldn't help it. His hands was big. He didn't know how to, it was a lot of things. But if you don't go in and fix mechanics, and it's tough, you going to get, you comfortable with this.
Yeah.
You comfortable.
Uh-huh.
But changing your, you know what I'm saying, your mechanics around is going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
So anything in life that feels uncomfortable, we shy away from.
Right.
I'm going to it.
Mm-hmm.
So things can happen in that process, like with, you might, elbow might come out a little bit every now and then, but you got to tweak it back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to figure it out. So it can happen, but in the long run, you're going to be better and you're going to continue to get better. Right. And that's why I try to change up and make everything better when I, do with this tattoo shit. I'm always trying to learn and be a better artist. So sometimes you might take a hit like this. But I ain't gonna lie, I'll do it all over again if I'm trying to get to the top level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it works.
So where do you see yourself in? Like, what's the ultimate goal? Like, where do you see yourself in the future? Like, what's the
business, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be known as just a tattoo artist. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want, like, people know me from basketball, being, tattoos, and but I just want to be a good father, leave my kids with a few businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Working on my portfolio as a businessman, not just a tattoo artist, but the tattoos is the foundation. You know what I'm saying, to where I'm trying to go. But you know what I'm saying, everything is revolved around growing. So I don't know how many more businesses I'm gonna accumulate through these years, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't stop. You know what I'm saying? You can't let one thing stop you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be haters. It's gonna be people say negative shit. And I heard it was a lot of people saying negative shit, but then I heard it was a lot more people, standing up for me. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that really stood up and said, and like people encouraging me and calling me and texting me and stuff like that. I really didn't want to talk about it, so a lot of times I didn't reach back out. I just was kind of, going through it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big thing for me. Because I'm not the person to be out here having negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Or having negative stuff on them that's out in the street, and I try to avoid it as much as possible. But other than that, man, I just keep pushing.
Yeah, keep going, man. Stay consistent.
Keep pushing.
A big and lazy discount code for the tattoos, man. Keep 5% off or something.
You ain't gotta worry about it, man. You probably have more than that. We'll work it out. We'll figure something. Especially if you ain't got no tat.
No tat.
I got you. We'll figure something out. I'm
gonna get one.
Oh yeah, we gotta get both. We gotta get y'all in there.
All right, we get in there. Hell yeah.
We gotta get y'all in there.
Content, man. First tattoo. Big gets his first tattoo. I'm gonna get like something Nas related. Nas is my favorite artist. I'm gonna get
Nas.
Yeah, like a little Nas. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. But just let me know.
It's a dope conversation, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Coming through, telling you, something about you and getting to know you, and clearing the situation up. Bigandlazy.com. You can follow my IG at BFINES.
Mone T. I'm on Facebook, Ramon Mone T Taylor. Instagram, Tatted Up Tattoo Shop _ after every word, tat it up _ tattoo shop. And that's the major platforms that I'm on. But yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. And like I said, I wanted to talk to somebody that had a nice. And I hope everything works out. And I feel
appreciate
like
you reaching out to me, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out because at the end of the day, I feel like you got something going on, and I like to deal with people that seem positive. And your podcast it seems positive. I don't want to be on nothing negative.
Right.
And just to kind of reach people and talk to different people. And I thought it was a good way to go through your podcast. And
appreciate that, man.
Like I said, I never met you, but I meet you now. I think you're cool cat.
We actually met once before when I took my little sister to get her first tattoo.
You did?
And I was staying there for I think I dropped off.
I remember your face, but we never met.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
pleasure meeting you, my guy.
Yes, sir.
This podcast was produced by B. Haywood for Confirmed Podcast Network.